have 2 sons in the military. I have one that's Air Force Honor Guard in Washington, D.C. right now. I have one who's in the Army, and he just got back from Haiti. And he said, Mom, you can't even imagine the wasteful spending that we have in our government. He said, it was great that we offered, and we are the first country to always extend our hands in the world. We have humanitarian hearts. But he said we should have gone there, served the purpose, and come back home. We have so much wasteful spending. I want to send the message that Washington has to be as accountable as I've had to be in my business this last year. I've had to take a pay cut. I've had to quit spending. I've had to balance my budget. It's been painful. And you know what? My campaign will be a living and breathing example of what I will do in Washington, because I don't have my hand out to anybody. I am not fundraising to run my campaign. If I get elected to this position, it will be because all of you put me in this position. It will be a collective voice of citizens, a movement of citizens, rather than money raised by people. Lord knows my friends and family, my contractor friends, they don't have it. And as I made this decision to run for office, it would have been really hypocritical of me if I said, my message to Washington is, quit spending. And then I turned around and asked all my friends and family who don't have the money to extend their money to me for what, hundreds of thousands of dollars for a position that's ridiculous. If you have extra money, there's so many other places that need that money than to put it in my pockets to run for office. If you want to put me in office, then get out there and do something about it. I'm so sick and tired of the anger. The people I've listened, I've been out knocking on doors, getting my own petition signed. It's not anybody else doing it. It's not by any money. It's not because I've hired a campaign manager. There's no amount of money. It's a total grassroots effect here. But that has allowed me then to really, when I'm knocking on people's doors, I hear what you have to say. I understand the needs because I'm here to listen. I attended a function last night. We talked briefly about the Proposition 100. I'm here to stand up and tell you that I support it, because I think we have such a terrible mess, that we have to do both. We have to do extreme budget cuts, and Washington needs to set that example. The congressmen need to set that example. Everybody in Washington. And I'm sorry, but I don't think our president ought to be flying around all over the country. I think we ought to have fireside chats or whatever. Let's live by example as elected officials so that we can show our constituents that we understand what they're going through. Because I know what you're going through. Healthcare issues. I can tell you that I personally relate to them. My daughter has diabetes. She's had diabetes since she was 8. And she's uninsurable. So we talk about passing a health care plan, and I have a combination of lots and lots of difficulties in my own life because I'm a small business owner. How does this new health care plan affect me as a small business owner? And yet my daughter, who's uninsurable, I want insurance for her. And I can tell you how difficult this whole process has been for her. When she had her first child, she relinquished guardianship to us, her father and myself, so that her baby, because he was born very, very premature, he was 29 weeks when he was born, and she was young when she gave birth. And in order for that child to be covered by health care, she had to relinquish guardianship because it was a $250,000 bill that we walked out of the hospital with. And how humiliating was that for her to have to, an American citizen, relinquish guardianship in our United States in order for that baby to receive health care. Health care is a huge issue for me on both fronts. How do I get my daughter covered, and how do I support it as a small business owner? As a small business owner, taxes. I'm telling you that I'm going to support Proposition 100, and yet I just received information over my fax that I'm now going to have a 6% energy surcharge to all the glass products. I can tell you right now that I cannot pass that on to my builders because I am right now operating on the most smallest of margins possible. My margins are so skinny. My payment is so slow. My retentions are so long, and my insurance rates are so high. It is only by the grace of God and my relationships that I'm still standing as a business owner. That's also what I bring to you. Having been married 30 years and running my own company for 26 years, I have tremendous negotiating skills, and I can also tell you I'm tough as nails. You'd have to be in order to be a woman in the construction industry. But I didn't become hard or tainted by that. My heart is still soft, and I'm still idealistic. I still believe in the good of our country, and I want, my whole purpose for doing this is to reacquaint you with Washington, to be the portal to Washington, and to reinstate integrity so that you can, for once, say, we're so proud of you. We're proud of our Congresswoman back in Washington, D.C. She's done a great job. We can't say that right now. People have asked me, why do you want to run for office? It's full of crooks. It's a bad environment. You know, that's exactly why I want to run for office, because I bring to Washington something that is so solid and so firm and embedded in me, and something that you will be able to trust in. I am Leanne Hall, and you can trust in me. Please vote for me and pass that word on. My hand is not out looking for money. It's looking for your trust and your vote.